Have you ever wondered why there seems to be less excitement about the Olympics as time goes on? The most obvious reason is the consistent rising cost that is associated with hosting the games. There are many reasons for this decline to occur, some might even shock you. I have been interested in the Olympics for years, and I would like to tell you about the fascinating history of the Olympic failures and tragedies. At the 1972 Summer Olympic Games in Munich, everything changed. A Palestinian terrorist group named Black September took 11 Israel athletes hostage. Any attempts to rescue the hostages led to the death of all hostages as well as several terrorists. This event was broadcast to billions of viewers, and the game resumes after 34 hours of suspensions. The Olympics can be extremely dangerous and the main target of terrorist attacks, as is one of the biggest events on the planet. At the 1976 Summer Olympics in Montreal, financial disaster struck. Montreal was suffering from several financial mismanagement issues, even going over budget for the Summer Games. The debt was so bad that the citizens themselves suffered from the debt for decades. The venue where the Olympics was being held was also delayed multiple times, leading to even more financial trouble. They even forgot to design the infrastructure they built to last long term. All in all, the Olympics were an absolutely massive financial burden for Montreal and its citizens. Mismanagement added with poor oversight led to setback after setback, forcing them further and further into the red. At the 1980 Moscow Summer Olympics, political ruin was inevitable. There was a massive event occurring at the same time as the Games, massive boycotts. The Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan in over 60 countries, led by the USA. They decided to boycott the Summer Games, which led to many star athletes being completely absent from the event, which also led to less viewers of the program. They also failed to plan long-term for the infrastructure they had built for the Games, being mostly unused post-event. Political events surrounding such a massive event can have severe consequences on the viewers and attendees of said event. It is also extremely important to plan long-term to take advantage of any infrastructure that is built. At the 1996 Summer Olympic Games in Atlanta, crowds of people were almost crushed. This event drew 2.5 million spectators as well as athletes. Since the event was so large and there were so many attendees, Atlanta had a lot of trouble properly organizing the Olympic Games this summer. Bus drivers couldn't find their way, delaying athletes from being able to show up on time. Streets were flooded with attendees as well as normal people who just wanted to catch a peek at the event. There was even a pipe bomb that killed 2 people. A security guard found a bag and they were able to evacuate the area before the explosion went off, but there was still a cameraman and a park visitor who died in the attack. While attacks like this are extremely unlikely, these types of events are more likely to happen in locations like the Olympics. Not only was it dangerous, it was a logistical nightmare from start to end. Now that I've concluded the long part, I would like to wrap up my main point. If there's anything to learn from Munich, Atlanta, Montreal, and the Moscow Summer Games, is that the Olympics are a headache. From simple crowding issues to financial disasters and even to terrorist attacks, the Olympics are usually a burden for whichever country chooses to host them, at least in the short term. Astronomical costs, risks of attacks, political association, and logistical nightmares. This makes the event less and less likely to be bid on each year. There are not many countries that want to take on the burden, making each year less exciting for the viewers as well. That is why there seems to be less excitement about the Olympics as time goes on.